Bonjour. Convoqué par le chancelier, par le recteur et vice-chancelier et par le Sénat de l'Université, la Faculté des sciences sociales de l'Université d'Ottawa est ici réunie pour la collation des grades. Summoned by the Chancellor, by the President and Vice-Chancellor, and by the Senate of the University, the Faculty of Social Sciences of the University of Ottawa has now assembled in convocation. Que tous les candidats et candidates veuillent bien se lever. Members of the graduating class will now rise. Monsieur le recteur et vice-chancelier, j'ai maintenant l'honneur et le privilège de vous présenter les finissantes et finissants et de vous prier de leur conférer collectivement les grades obtenus par chacun individuellement et sanctionnés par le Sénat de l'Université d'Ottawa. President and Vice-Chancellor, it is now my duty and privilege to present to you the graduates and to request you to confer upon them the degrees for which individually they have qualified and to which the Senate of the University of Ottawa has given its assent.
En tant que recteur de l'Université d'Ottawa, université dont le campus principal est construit sur le territoire ancestral du peuple algonquin, en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont dévolus, je vous confère les grades que vous avez obtenus en satisfaisant aux exigences du Sénat, avec le titre et tous les honneurs, droits et privilèges afférents. As President of the University of Ottawa, a university whose main campus is built upon the ancestral lands of the Algonquin people, by authority of the powers vested in me, I do hereby confer upon you the degrees to which you have demonstrated your entitlement to the satisfaction of the Senate, with such title, honor, rights, and privileges that are proper to them. Congratulations. Please be seated. Membres du Bureau des gouverneurs, membres du Sénat, vice-recteurs, vice-rectrices, doyens et doyennes, distingués invités, y compris l'honorable Lloyd Axworthy, l'invité d'honneur cet après-midi, parents, familles, amis, et surtout la raison pour notre présence ici dimanche après-midi, c'est-à-dire les membres de la promotion 2016 de la Faculté des sciences sociales. I first want to congratulate you for being able to find the room today. I know it wasn't easy. Consider it as your final examination. You did very well. D'abord et avant tout, je voudrais féliciter chaleureusement les finissants et les finissantes pour ce que vous avez accompli. Sachez que votre université est très fière de vous, si fière qu'après aujourd'hui, nous allons prendre tout le crédit pour vos succès futurs. Et pour ça, je vous remercie. I know that it took years of focused effort for you to earn your place in this hall today, but truth to be told, you didn't do it entirely by yourself. You got a lot of help from family and from friends who contributed to your being able to succeed. Et vos proches, vos amis, vos mentors sont ici aujourd'hui. C'est pour eux aussi une journée importante. And on top of all that, it's Father's Day. So those of you fortunate enough to have a father here today or to be a father today, it's a great reason to well, say thank you. So why don't you rise and turn to your families and your friends and express how grateful you are for all the help they've given you in being here today. Will we say thank you? Oui, merci. C'est bien mérité. Et n'oublions pas vos professeurs et le personnel dévoué de l'université qui ont constamment cherché à vous donner le meilleur d'eux-mêmes. I think it's important to thank your professors as well, don't you? So would you rise and express your gratitude to your professors? Now I'm trying to think of another reason to get you to stand up, because I'm drunk on the power. But, I guess I'll let it pass. You and I have some things in common. First of all, I too am a graduate of this fabulous university. I once sat where you are sitting, and I once thought as you are thinking, when is this person going to wind up his speech so we can get on with the program? We have some celebrating to do. Alors, je suis pleinement conscience que c'est un privilège pour moi de prendre la parole cet après-midi et que je dois utiliser l'occasion judicieusement. So I'll be careful not to abuse that privilege. But there are a couple of things I want to say. Nous avons autre chose en commun. Nous quittons l'université en même temps. Vous quittez aujourd'hui, à la fin de la journée, et moi, d'ici quelques jours, parce qu'à la fin de juin, mon mandat comme recteur va terminer. Vous allez recevoir vos diplômes aujourd'hui, mais j'ai aussi reçu une formation durant mes années à l'université. In my case, it was 8 years of experiential learning. Most of you concluded your studies in a much shorter time. Obviously, some people learn faster than others. Now, I'm going to find out what you studied when I hear your name called out. But what about me? What have I learned during my years at university? Well, I have learned, for one thing, that we have good reason to be optimistic about the future. It's in the hands of a new generation that's well prepared to meet it, with all its peril and its promise. Et pourquoi être si optimiste et confiant dans votre génération? Mais tout d'abord, je connais la qualité de votre formation, des programmes que vous avez suivis et à quel point vos professeurs vous ont bien préparé pour les défis devant vous. Enfin, je sais à quel point vous avez travaillé fort pour maîtriser vos sujets et vous rendre ici. But there's more. Yours is the most aware and involved generation in history. In a world that badly needs to embrace pluralism, you have literally grown up with diversity. In these past few years, you've worked and played and studied with colleagues from all over the world. And you've spent years on a campus that carries on in 2 official languages. So you connect easily across cultures, and you can readily see through the eyes of others, which is a crucial quality in today's world. A remarkable number of you have volunteered your time. Through community service, you've learned your courses and programs. So you've set a pattern already of giving back. And you have acquired the skills, the qualities, and the values that will put you in a position to put your education to use to make this a better world. Alors, vu d'ici, l'avenir s'annonce très prometteur. Et nous, tous ici sur la scène cet après-midi, sommes impatients de voir ce que vous ferez pour améliorer le monde. Important that you know that you leave here today with our admiration and our very best wishes. Congratulations again. Il y a deux autres petites choses que je dois faire. Premièrement, je vais expliquer que cet après-midi, durant la cérémonie, nous allons, comme université, décerner un doctorat honorifique. C'est un élément très important pour l'université. C'est une occasion privilégiée de reconnaître une personnalité marquante en lui conférant un doctorat honorifique. When we confer an honorary doctorate, we're sort of making a statement to our graduates and to the world about the traits of character, about the personal qualities, about the kinds of achievements that we most admire. Cet après-midi, nous honorons l'honorable Lloyd Axworthy, dont le bilan de service au public est vraiment extraordinaire. Lloyd sera présenté plus en détail par le doyen Mérette sous peu, mais pour le moment, je voudrais simplement dire à quel point nous sommes ravis d'avoir l'occasion d'avoir Lloyd parmi nous ici cet après-midi. As you'll hear, he spent 25 years in elected office, including as a member of the cabinet of Pierre Trudeau, and then as Foreign Affairs Minister during the government of Jean Chrétien. He attracted enormous positive attention to Canada by leading the human security agenda, a period during which Canada actually won a seat on the Security Council. The human security agenda, focusing on the protection of people as opposed to the protection of governments, focused the attention of the international community on subjects like protecting civilians at armed conflict, women, peace and security, the welfare of children and avoiding child soldiers, the responsibility to protect from genocide and ethnic cleansing. Lloyd was also instrumental in the creation of the International Criminal Court and, of course, led the effort that concluded in the Ottawa Treaty banning anti-personnel landmines, for which he was nominated for a Nobel Prize. On pourrait penser qu'après 25 ans de vie politique et plusieurs postes en vue au sein du cabinet, il déciderait de se reposer. Mais non, il est devenu président d'une université, l'université de Winnipeg, où il a passé 10 ans. And in that position, he opened up that university to the Aboriginal population in Manitoba and beyond, modernized the curriculum to include Indigenous perspectives, and really transformed downtown Winnipeg by integrating that university into the fabric of the city. For all those reasons, nous sommes vraiment heureux d'avoir l'occasion cet après-midi pour exprimer notre admiration pour l'honorable Lloyd Axworthy et son travail. Lloyd, it's delightful to have you here. You honor us by agreeing to accept the distinction we confer today. Thank you. And there's just one last thing I have to do before I sit down. We have a long-standing tradition here at the University of Ottawa that goes back now 2 years. And it is that we invite a member of the graduating class to come up here and speak so we can have something of your perspective in all of this ceremony. And I would now like to ask our Dean, Marcel Mérette, à présenter le major de la promotion, Roland Tooze. Roland and Dean Mérette.
Il me fait grand plaisir de vous présenter notre major de promotion, Roland Tooze. Roland is completing an undergraduate degree in international development with a minor in economics. He is also part of the French immersion and co-op programs. He is a brilliant student, but also very much involved in his community. Il a travaillé comme bénévole au Carrefour francophone. Il a été conseiller communautaire en résidence. Il a été vice-président aux affaires académiques de l'Association des étudiants en développement. A fait un échange à Sciences Po, Paris, et un stage international au Pérou. Il a travaillé dans un organisme de défense des droits de la femme. Roland speaks 3 languages, French, English, and Spanish. Please welcome Roland Tooze.
Merci, Monsieur le Doyen Mérette. Hey, guys. Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to the graduating class of 2016. Here we are. And for those of us whose mothers have been pestering us to visit the National Arts Center before we leave Ottawa, we can finally say we did. Pour débuter, quelques remerciements s'imposent. Merci tout d'abord à l'Université d'Ottawa et surtout aux remarquables professeurs de la Faculté des sciences sociales. Au-delà de leur excellence et de leur représentation collective d'un large éventail d'expertise et d'expérience, nos professeurs sont exceptionnellement généreux avec leur temps, s'impliquant de près avec les événements étudiants et promouvant l'engagement au sein de notre campus. Notre éducation d'haute qualité provient largement du dévouement du corps professoral de la faculté. This is also the perfect moment to acknowledge the people who have helped us to get to where we are today, the parents and grandparents, siblings, friends, and mentors who encouraged us during our childhood years, who tolerated us during our teenage years, and who have supported us during our undergraduate years, or as some like to call it, the best 7 years of your life. Il y a tellement de personnes qui ont joué un rôle important dans notre réussite collective. Prenons quelques instants pour leur exprimer notre profonde reconnaissance. Thank you, everyone here. En faisant le tour de la salle, il est clair qu'il serait impossible de parler au nom de l'expérience de chacun à l'Université d'Ottawa. Nous avons suivi différents programmes, Développement international et Psychologie, avec des mineurs variés. Certains d'entre nous ont étudié en anglais, certains en français et d'autres dans les deux. Entre les semestres coop, les échanges, les stages internationaux, les emplois à temps partiel, les clubs étudiants, le sport universitaire et nos propres histoires et passions, nous démontrons fièrement une hétérogénéité stupéfiante au sein de notre promotion. I would argue that this heterogeneity and the breadth of experience of our graduating class is one of the most valuable elements of our education at U-Ottawa. At a time when a university degree is so frequently regarded as a commodity to be consumed or as a guarantor of future employment, it's easy to lose sight of the inherent value of higher education. But think for a moment on all the different people we've encountered over the past years, how these people have changed and how we've changed ourselves. We've been members of an amazing community of distinctly talented individuals, all pursuing different dreams in different ways. These past years have been a journey that we will not ever get to repeat because we can't go back to being the same people we were in first year. And as Dean Mehret mentioned, I lived with first years as a residence advisor. That's probably a good thing. But for me, at least, the dynamism, the vibrant social life, and the personal evolution I've seen in my friends and in myself are what will come to mind when I reflect upon my time at the University of Ottawa. And all of this has a value that cannot be captured in dollars and cents. Mes nombreuses années à l'Université d'Ottawa font partie intégrante de la personne que je suis devenue. De plus, j'espère que ce que nous avons appris ici continuera de façonner notre futur. We've all heard that university isn't about learning what to think, it's about learning how to think. And as writer David Foster Wallace argued, it might be more appropriate and less cliched to emphasize the importance of choosing what to think about. I don't really feel qualified to weigh in on the debate, and I'm not quite sure that it's worthwhile, but I would contend that we all have a responsibility to think, period. We have a responsibility to think and to put this education to good use because as we look out at the world today, all around us, we see the consequences of public discourses that are not informed by reasoned argument or by respectful debate, but rather polluted by populism and demagoguery. The only remedy for these tendencies is to have critical, informed, and empowered citizens. So as we leave university life and enter the real world, we face challenges that we all know about. the stresses of finding a job, repaying student debt, and fretting over whether or not the Maple Leafs will ever win another Stanley Cup. But let's try, as we move forward, to remain as engaged with the daunting and tumultuous real world as we have been in the diverse and dynamic community at U-Ottawa. Notre éducation ici nous permet de faire bien plus que d'expliquer ce qu'est un GG. Alors que nous allons suivre des chemins différents et exceptionnels qui nous s'ouvrent devant nous, continuons d'agir de manière responsable, de manière juste, et assurons-nous que notre formation sera utilisée du mieux possible, peu importe où nous nous trouverons. I'd like to take this last moment of your time to introduce a short video that will put on display some of the highlights of life on campus from this past year. J'aimerais prendre quelques moments pour vous présenter une courte vidéo qui va exposer les faits marquants de la vie sur le campus cette année. Encore une fois, félicitations et merci beaucoup pour votre temps. Thank you very much for your time and congratulations once again.
First of all, je voudrais remercier au nom de nous tous et toutes Roland pour un discours tout à fait extraordinaire. It's not easy to give that kind of speech from this place on this day, and I think you were terrific. Thank you so much. C'est clair que Roland, vous incarnez l'esprit de la promotion 2016, enthousiaste, plein d'énergie, prêt pour l'avenir. It's obvious you're a real optimist too. Anyone who speaks of the Maple Leafs and the Stanley Cup in the same sentence, apart from that, it was wonderful. Well done. I propose now to address candidates for the doctoral degree. L'attribution du doctorat, le grade le plus élevé que confère l'université, est soumise à des conditions rigoureuses qui exigent des candidats des qualités intellectuelles de haute valeur. The conferring of the doctorate, the highest degree granted by the university, is based upon exacting conditions that require on the part of candidates qualities of the highest intellectual order. Je prie maintenant Marcel Merette, doyen de la Faculté des sciences sociales, de vous inviter individuellement à monter sur la scène afin qu'accompagné de votre directeur ou directrice de thèse, vous puissiez recevoir votre diplôme et votre épithège. I now request the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Marcel Merette, to call you forward so that, accompanied by your thesis supervisor or a delegate, you may receive your diploma and doctoral hood. Congratulations.
Doctorate in Philosophy, Psychology, Stephanie Ann Ratley. Doctorat en philosophie, psychologie clinique, Marie-Ève Couture-Lalande. Doctorat en philosophie, psychologie clinique, Jacinthe Fauché. Doctorat en philosophie, psychologie clinique, Sophie Godbout-Beaulieu. Doctorate in philosophy, clinical psychology, Jennifer Opton. Doctorate in philosophy, clinical psychology, Jessica Curta. Doctorate in philosophy, clinical psychology, Andrea Ming-Si Lee. Doctorat en philosophie, psychologie clinique, Rim Massarani. Doctorate in philosophy, clinical psychology, Jennifer Kristen Mackay. Doctorant en philosophie, psychologie clinique, Michel Jeanne Manta. Doctorate in philosophy, clinical psychology, Melissa Mayer.
Go.
Doctorate in philosophy, clinical psychology, Nancy Wallace. Doctorant en philosophie, psychologie, spécialisation en neurosciences, Patricia Barra de la Tremblay. Voilà ce qui complète la remise des diplômes de doctorat. Let's give them a round of applause. I would now like to introduce the recipient of our honorary doctorate, the Honorable Loyac Swarty. How to describe the career of a man whose dedication to others is so multifaceted. His exemplary service to Canada in the realms of politics, international affairs, and academia is characterized by a deep sense of commitment to making the world better, especially for the less fortunate. Un des thèmes clés de son mandat de recteur et vice-chancelier de l'Université de Winnipeg a été d'accroître les possibilités de formation postsecondaire pour les personnes défavorisées. Il a non seulement représenté fidèlement ses électeurs et toute la population canadienne à la Chambre des communes, mais il a aussi œuvré sur la scène internationale avec grâce, efficacité et initiative, que ce soit pour interdire les mines antipersonnelles, traduire les criminels de guerre en justice ou pour encourager un sentiment de responsabilité partagée parmi la population. Le Canada ne pourrait rêver d'un meilleur ambassadeur et nous d'un meilleur modèle pour nos diplômés qui s'apprêtent à se tailler une place dans le monde. Please watch with me the following video.
The common thread that runs through the Honourable Lloyd Axworthy's lengthy career in politics, international affairs and academia is his commitment to defending the rights of marginalized individuals, children, Indigenous peoples, and those who inhabit war-torn countries. He graduated in 1961 with a BA from United College, now the University of Winnipeg, and received an MA and PhD from Princeton University in 1963 and 1972, respectively. In 2004, he returned to the University of Winnipeg to serve as President and Vice Chancellor for 10 years, working to make post-secondary education more accessible to inner-city, Aboriginal, new immigrant and refugee students. Monsieur Axworthy a entamé sa carrière politique, longue de 27 années, à l'Assemblée législative du Manitoba, avant d'intégrer la Chambre des communes en 1979. Son dévouement exemplaire envers ses concitoyens lui a valu plusieurs nominations au sein du cabinet, notamment en tant que ministre des Affaires étrangères. Le leadership international de M. Axworthy atteint son sommet lorsqu'il entreprend d'instaurer la Convention d'Ottawa sur l'interdiction des mines antipersonnelles, ce qui lui vaudra d'être mis en nomination pour le prix Nobel de la paix. Ce leader invétéré dirige ensuite ses efforts vers la création de la Cour pénale internationale et l'élaboration du protocole sur les enfants soldats, efforts pour lesquels il décrochera le prix Nord-Sud du Conseil de l'Europe, l'un des plus prestigieux de sa carrière. In 2016, Lloyd Axworthy was named Companion of the Order of Canada, a promotion within the order. The citation stated, Lloyd Axworthy remains a trusted voice whose call for global citizenship is heard in Canada and abroad.
J'invite maintenant notre recteur, M. Alan Rock, à venir prononcer la formule d'attribution du docteur honorifique.
Alors, Lloyd Axworthy, levez-vous s'il vous plaît. Merci. En tant que recteur de l'Université d'Ottawa, en vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont dévolus, je vous confère le grade de docteur de l'université, avec le titre et tous les honneurs et privilèges qui s'y rattachent. As President of the University of Ottawa, by authority of the powers vested in me, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of the University, with the title, honor, and privileges that are proper to it. Congratulations.
Bonjour. Pour le président de l'université, Monsieur l'honorable Alan Rock, les membres du Sénat, faculté distinguée, certainement le grand nombre de familles, et en particulier les membres des classes de graduats ici. I'm very honored to be asked to join you today and to share in your celebration of one of those moments that will never be forgotten because it's a moment of achievement. And you will always have that with you as a standard and a threshold that will become the measuring stick for your decisions and your movement and progress from here on in. I want to say to you first, just as a small caution that I have spent in my 10 years at the University of Winnipeg a number of convocations. And based on scientific, hard evidence observation, I determined that the addresses given by honorary degree recipients certainly varied in message and standards, but I can say from that very careful sort of proof and evidence that the shortest were the best. That's a lesson I hope to emulate, but not without some effort. You realize the constraints that 8 minutes plus provides on a former politician, university professor, and president. That's not usually within the DNA of those occupations. But I want to use a few of those moments to thank you and to congratulate you. It really is a special occasion. It's the high festival of any university experience to participate in this coming together as a class, to share in each other's achievements and to celebrate your own sense of where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And I'd also like to use a moment to pay tribute to the president of the university, who is also graduating with you at the same time, ending his tenure here after 8 years. It's been an adventurous journey for Alan Rock and his family, and I can say with some experience that by adventure I mean a combination of searching the unknown, dealing with the unexpected, and oftentimes in a total atmosphere of unacknowledgement. You know, when I was in the trade a few years ago, the common saying amongst us presidents were that we were very much like caretakers in the cemetery. There was a lot of people under us, but nobody listened. So we know exactly what the moment and occasion like this provides. But this is a voyage of discovery that we've all shared by being part of this incredible exercise called higher education. It's a wonderful invention. If we talk about some of the great discoveries over the ages, this opportunity to be given to search out and to examine, to question, to discuss, and to consider is really very rare. But I would like to, perhaps in terms of a tribute to Alan, just hone in on a special and particular event. His attempt over the last few years to bridge the gap for young Syrian men and women driven from their homes and schools by the horrendous conflict and by the relentless sort of sense of insecurity, to surrender this rare opportunity that you are now enjoying. And in times that he spoke to me about working together on providing a lifeline for young Syrians so they could continue in this educational track, it became clear that it was more than talk, because he initiated serious actions through the University of Ottawa and the support of its faculty and administration and students to become a place where Syrian students could come here to restart their education, to establish a program of education outreach in Lebanon to try to reach into the refugee camps where the sense of being disconnected from everything that was important is paramount and disheartening. And it's through such acts that a university can initiate that sets it apart, that gives it a soul and an essence of a defined institution. And I think we need all to be proud of the work that this university has done under Alan's leadership to reach out to the young men and women in the camps, cut off from their families, oftentimes without any sense of future, to still have that beacon of hope that higher education can provide. So thank you very much, Alan, and members of this university for what you've done. But it takes me to another event or incident that took place a few months back when I was at this university for an international meeting, and one of the sort of administrators from the university who had just retired had offered to drive me out to the airport. And he was on the way telling me about how he and his neighbors had formed together around a community sponsorship for a Syrian family. Actually, a program that when I was Minister of Immigration back in Mr. Trudeau's first government, we first introduced to deal with the major surge of Vietnamese and boat people coming from the Indochina Peninsula. And I said to him that I thought this must be an incredible experience for the newly arriving refugees to be given this chance to bond with Canadians so quickly and to be established and given a place in the community. And he said, yes, but what he found was that he understood that the real beneficiary was he and his wife and his children, because it gave them a chance to do something meaningful for his country and indeed for the global community. Remarkable statement, but I think it also reflects on this institution and its outlook that would become a commitment that was made to reach out to the strangers at the gate. And that exchange has stuck with me in the last few months when I've been primarily in Europe and the Middle East working on the migration issue, the refugee issue, because it really reflected and expressed what I found surprising is that in places that I would go and the discussions we had, people from those parts of the world were curious about what they call the Canadian model. Now, we've never pretended to be exceptionalists as Canadians, but I was curious about what they meant by that, and they said, well, how is it and why is it that you are one of the few countries, if not the only one left, that is still sort of using the language of multiculturalism, of open migration, of refugee sanctuary? Do you know that the oldest human rights in the world goes back to the provision of sanctuary? In ancient Greek writings, in the Hebrew Bible, there are places set aside in which those escaping persecution and difficulty would find sanctuary. And here we are in this early part of the new millennium, where far too many places are denying it, closing doors, building walls, rejecting their responsibilities under the laws and the conventions. But so far, we've stayed different. And so at a time when the rest of the world was shrinking its horizons, I think we should all be pleased to say that as Canadians, as a country, as a government, as a community, we've still kept the doors open. Even Chancellor Merkel from Germany, who took a very heroic stand at the outset of the mass migration in Europe, is now having to backtrack because of the incredible extremism taking place in the politics in Europe, because they don't want strangers at the gate. And this wonderful experiment called the European Union is fragmenting now into something that is really becoming a sad and bad result for all of us in this world. Catherine Duverge, Dean of Law at UBC, has asserted in a new book that there is a new politics of immigration emerging around the world. There is a sense that people should be stopped at the borders, not given entry. It's become a reverse of that basic law of sanctuary. And no country is immune, as we know. Even the beneficial neighbor to the south of us is now seized with a politics of extreme reaction on issues of culture, entity, and immigration. It's a polarizing effect, and we can just see the damage it does, the sense of tension and ugliness that it creates in the minds of people, so much so that many are driven to extreme acts. So what I want to say to you today is that your generation has to play a part. One of the things that's created this quote, Canadian model, the way that we've been able to tolerate, is that each generation, going back to virtually the early discovery of this country, with the dream of Samuel Champlain, who came here not just as a merchant, but as a humanist, with the idea that he would be able to establish working, respectful relations with the native people of North America, unlike what was happening in the British and Spanish colonies, where they were being treated mainly as slaves or as fiefdoms. And Champlain was able to provide a respectful relationships that has carried on through our historical track. From that came the Cours de Bois, the fur traders out of Lower Quebec, who then moved to Western Canada to trade with furs, and really founded a distinctive Canadian community called the Métis. And during the 19th century, that particular community, as we know, established a republic in what is now my province of Manitoba. Maybe that's not been part of your history lesson, but for 9 months there was a Republic of Manitoba, and it had the most open, progressive, tolerant charter of rights of its time. Freedom for all groups, openness to women, the right to be able to challenge those who discriminate. Now, unfortunately, the Republic only lasted 9 months, otherwise I might be here as an ex-president. But it did create within our historical evolution an understanding of how we must act. Similarly, the Canada Act of 1791, where after the wars between French and English on our continent, unlike most other wars, the victor didn't vanquish. They established the idea that two nations with separate language, separate religion, separate culture could live in the same state. Not always easily, we know that, but there was never massive civil division and war over those issues. And as we fast forward through the periods of open immigration under Laurier and get to what I consider the real blip on the horizon, because it was caused by the insecurity and fear of the Depression, we actually began to turn our immigration laws into anti-Semitic, anti-European barriers. But as the Second World War emerged, and I don't want to give you the 25-cent version of world history, but you began to establish the notion that there was an international law, a rule of law that gave people rights regardless of who they were or where they came from. Convention on Refugees, which defended those rights so that people could know that they could seek sanctuary, and every country who signed it was obliged. And at that point, Canada began to change its own policies in response to open up and become one of the primary receiving countries in the world. And during surges that came out of Czechoslovakia or Uganda or Vietnam, we were there on the call. What I'm trying to say is that, as you can see, just in a very quick summary, period by period, generation by generation, there's been groups of Canadians who have taken hold of this issue and layered it and given it more definition, more meaning, have built more of an infrastructure and a way of thinking. And it came together, of course, in the incredible Charter of Rights and Freedoms that we passed in 1983 that guaranteed in the Constitution group rights, going back to the incredible work that was done by Raphael Lemkin, the lawyer from Poland, who was the first to begin to argue that group rights were now part of the rule of law that we had to adhere to. And here we are now at a time when we are the exception, as the Prime Minister Trudeau said a few months back in his speech in London. What makes us unique is not that the differences divide us, but the differences make us stronger. And he promised a foreign policy, an international stance, built on the idea that we would make our differences, our divisions, our unique perspectives work for us, because we all could understand how to make that an accommodating, compromising way of living together with respect and with fair judgment. So that became the Canadian model, which is now being looked at and talked about. And it's certainly endorsed by Canadians. John Barry from Queen's University has done some remarkable studies that shows that close to 70% of Canadians believe that the entry and introduction of immigrants and refugees makes us better people. It helps our economy. It helps our sense of who we are and the kind of diversity of views, of cultures, of languages, of foods. And it's not perfect, but it's working. And it's working to the extent that when a major crisis happens, we are able to respond in a way that's becoming increasingly almost unique. But here's the point, and this is the one I will come to. We now have to make that a global model. It's great that we as Canadians know how to do it, and we're working at it, and our institutions, as yours has shown the signs. But you know, right now, as we speak, there's 65 million displaced persons around the world. These are people who have no home, no identity, no citizenship, no right to go to school, no right for health care. They are cut off, they're disconnected. Many of them living in refugee camps for sometimes 1 or 2 generations. A whole new demographic in the world is the refugee city, supported oftentimes by humanitarian assistance and development aid, but the reality is they don't belong. And at any moment, the rug can be pulled out. They can be arrested. Their kids can be denied education. They simply become pawns of somebody's extreme politics. And there is too much of that extreme politics taking place, as we know. And so the big question that I think is asked, can this kind of pluralism that we have endorsed and enhanced and evolved, can it be exported? Can it be used to provide now some answers on the international stage, on the global arena? Because the migration is not over. This is not a one-time CNN event. We also know that the conflicts continue to drive people away because they are so deeply afraid for their survival, for their life, for their human security. But at the same time as that's happening, boy, have we multiplied the pressures, because in that vast area of the Sahel, Northern Africa, Middle East, in parts of Central America, in parts of Southeast Asia, the impact of the climate is now driving people because there's no water anymore to grow food, and they're starving. And how do you solve your starving? You have to move. And so we now have a whole new surge beginning to develop around the world. And the question is, are we ready to handle it? Are you ready to handle it? I mean, many of us on the stage have done our part. It's going to be this generation that decides, how do we take what we've learned from our history and our practice and our experience and translate it into something that begins to become a usable issue around the world, that we can lead in establishing some new laws and some new definitions and some new commitments to start sharing the burden. Sure, we took 25,000 refugees, but the head of the United Nations Human Commission on Refugees said there will be another 1 million people who need resettlement in the next couple of years. Are we prepared to do our part? Are we prepared to go not for 25, but for 100? Well, that's going to be decisions that your generation will make. Not alone. Universities have to help. Private sector has to help. NGOs have to help. It's not just a government initiative. But I think it does come down to the choices that you make. Choices that, as I watch and hear and listen, take the president's word that he has optimism because he's seen you and your class with the kind of commitments that are there, that there will be a sense of pursuing that wonderful space called justice. My friend Joe Stern, who's here today, as a former head of the Refugee Board, has often reminded me that the notion of justice goes back into the Deuteronomy, the words of Moses in the New Testament, where he says, justice, justice you shall pursue. It's an injunction to act. But it's interesting this way, and I'm not here to be a biblical interpreter, but the reason you use the word twice is because it shows there's more than one way to justice. There's no sort of exclusive ideological constraint to say we're the only ones who know how to get there. Each and every one, every group, every other has the opportunity to make that pursuit of justice something that is meaningful to them, and the conflation of it, the coming together of that, the meeting of those points will then begin to create a world in which we can handle and begin to deal with a global issue of people who are disconnected, displaced, and oftentimes destroyed. So I think that is what I hope I can leave you with, a thought, a consideration. I'm not here to kind of down on the parade. It's a beautiful day, and I know people want to get out for celebratory dinners. But you know, this is where you're at. This is a wonderful expression of the human spirit, that you can now make these choices. You can make them not only on behalf of this community, but begin to have an influence on communities around, because there is a sense that justice must be equal to all. I want to go back to the words of Charles Taylor, who's one of the eminent philosophers from this country and of our time. He says, "Our age makes higher demands of solidarity and benevolence on people than ever before. Never before have people been asked to stretch out so far and so consistently and so systematically, as a matter of course, to the stranger outside the gates." I wish you well in meeting those strangers and bringing them through the gate. Thank you very much.
Merci Lloyd pour vos remarques inspirantes, éloquentes. Vous avez tracé la ligne depuis des siècles à la responsabilité de chacun et chacune parmi nous de recevoir des gens qui ont besoin. You've traced its history and you've shown its relevance in our own history as a country, and you've emphasized the importance of that principle today, perhaps more than ever. And you have put the responsibility for future decisions squarely on the shoulders of this generation. And I think you and I both share an optimism about this generation. But we're grateful to you for framing the issue so thoroughly and so eloquently, and for being part of this ceremony and making it such a meaningful day. Thank you very much. Merci. I propose now to address candidates for graduate diplomas and master's degrees. L'obtention d'un certificat d'études supérieures, d'un diplôme d'études supérieures ou de la maîtrise témoigne du haut niveau de compétences que les candidats et les candidates ont atteintes dans une discipline. The conferring of a graduate certificate, a graduate diploma, or the master's degree signifies that a candidate has achieved a high level of knowledge in his or her discipline. Je demande maintenant qu'on invite à s'avancer ceux et celles qui ont mérité le grade de maîtrise. I now request that the candidates entitled to receive a master's degree be called forward. Congratulations.
Master of Arts, Globalization, International Development, George N. Melk. Rim Grissom Wilfred Wedrago. Célia Perceau. Caitlin Sievert. Brushna Brinda Singh. John Eric Tian. Sarah Catherine Wald. Voilà ce qui termine les diplômés de la maîtrise, du diplôme de maîtrise à la Faculté des sciences sociales. Please give them a round of applause.
Alors, je demande qu'on invite à s'avancer ceux et celles qui ont mérité le grade de baccalauréat ou un grade professionnel. I request that the candidates entitled to receive a baccalaureate or a professional degree be called forward. Congratulations.
Alors, je profite de l'occasion pour mentionner que toute la faculté sociale, mes collègues, le personnel, sont aussi très fiers de votre succès, de vos diplômes. I have in front of me a long list of names, family names, given names, they're all beautiful, thanks to your parents. I might mispronounce some of them. Please, I apologize right away. Don't take it personally. Right? We still love you. Baccalauréat en sciences sociales avec mineur en psychologie, Valérie Dieudonné-Beaubrun. Stéphanie Bourgon-Allaire. Vincent Bruno. Isabelle Brunner. Jessica Brianna Burden. Tekrayat Alwan Al-Sanman. Daniel Catley. Amira Chaouch Bouraoui. Vanessa Chrétien. Danielle Lise Cloutier. Kathleen Gallagher. Holly Gillett. Sarah Arrington. Jenna Hill. Taylor Johnston. Jordan Alexandra Jones. Jessica Lachaine, cum laude. Dorcas Lilai Lee. Ismahan Istikan Mohamed Hamoud. Michelle Ouellette. Victoria Pasquini, magna cum laude. Travis Jordan Richards. James Timothy Wilby Ryan. Carole Anne Tremblay. Jared Christopher Tourache, cum laude. Marie-Victor. Monica Vogdalik. Charles Zeller. Laden Kaim Ali. Baccalauréat en sciences sociales, spécialité en développement international et mondialisation, Amélie Allard. Gary Gokulan Balagantin. Sabrina Belabib. Andris Beleus. Stéphanie Michel Bertrand. Samaratia Bimiji, magna cum laude. Nandita Vinabijur, cum laude. Eugenie Aboko, cum laude. Jennifer Bonti Ankuma, cum laude. Alicia Shwiwiko. Olivia Crawley, cum laude. Charlene Christine Di Costa, cum laude. Lindy Del Maggi, cum laude. Joseph R. Diaz Riveros. Vanaro Diep, magna cum laude. Aminata Diop, cum laude. Rose Diop, cum laude. Alicia Crystal Dobson, cum laude. Philson Duele. Mélissa Durocher. Monida Ang. Shuvong Ensor Harrison. Sandra Maria Esposito. Janice Fu, magna cum laude. Annabelle Gagnon Barnes, cum laude. Chelsea Gervais. Raphaël Godbout-Lorrain, cum laude. Maurice Gravel Cerda, magna cum laude. Mitchell Aid, cum laude. In Barclay Harrison, cum laude. Thierry Henry. Stephen James Hepburn. Tanya Chantal Hewitt, magna cum laude. Yu Xuan Jiang, magna cum laude. Caitlin Mary Rose Jones, magna cum laude. Yusra Kabir, cum laude. Eri Kabungulu. Jocelyn King. Sarah Kessler, cum laude. Catherine Nicole Isabelle Lemay, magna cum laude. Danica Levasseur. Émilie Zouré, cum laude. Jennifer Lobo. Erin Margaret Loney, cum laude. Alexander Maurice Mackey. Claire Malik, magna cum laude. Elena Blanca Masminiti, cum laude. Nicole Marie McMartin, cum laude. Ailey Mekawi, cum laude. Catherine Tamara Melios, summa cum laude. Elina L'Oréal Minot. Catherine Elizabeth Monroe, cum laude. Gail Moshiaramwe. Esther Mutombo Ngioji Kabela, cum laude. Bon esprit. Alain Nieye Narugano, cum laude. Erin Lynn Novozworsky, cum laude. Betty Pham. Maria Podeco, cum laude. Caitlin Posselwhite, magna cum laude. Nena Povereza. Jonathan David Reed. Ashley Ryan, summa cum laude. Catherine Christina Rizza. Eden Robertson Backlid, cum laude. Danica Rollin. Elizabeth Gloria Seibel, magna cum laude. Sharon Shuar. Priscilla Sadier. Alejandra Triana, cum laude. Cyprien Tumen, cum laude. Louis Warren Tuz, summa cum laude. Athena Tsisvanopoulos. Oussama Zitouni, magna cum laude. Elias Abu Assadi. Kerry Daniel Adams, cum laude. Elisabeth Al-Jabouri, magna cum laude. Andrea Andri, cum laude. Nathalie Arbache. Chantal Aubertin. Stéphanie Aziz, summa cum laude. Barbara Mackenzie Barnett, magna cum laude. Perline Melissa Barrett Fraser. Robin Beal, magna cum laude. Antoine Benoit. Amanda Blanchfield. Catherine Boisvert, cum laude. Rim Boussenam. Alicia Bush, cum laude. Veronica Caldwell. Michelle Penelope Caringal. Jenna Caron, cum laude. Alexandra Champagne, cum laude. Élise Champagne Klassen, magna cum laude. Carly Chiasson, magna cum laude. Olivia Mary Clark. Whistling Collis. Camille Coutu, magna cum laude. Kayla Corn Cochrane. Grishma Dahal, magna cum laude. Carolina Elzbieta Daniel, magna cum laude. Sarah D., cum laude. Sophie Dozois, magna cum laude. Erika Rita Drexler, magna cum laude. Marie-Hélène Lucie René Drolet, magna cum laude. Priscilla Dupont. Stéphane Dutil, cum laude. Victoria Edwards, summa cum laude. Michael Joseph Falconi. Stephanie Francisco Tavares. Angela Gabenois, cum laude. Melissa Corinne Garner. Evelyne Germain, cum laude. Olivier Gérard Joyal, summa cum laude. Héloïse Valérie Giraud, magna cum laude. Ana Laura Garcia. Myriane Grenier, magna cum laude. Ines Grubesic, cum laude. Talia Mary Award Askin, cum laude. Catherine Hébert, magna cum laude. Juliane Héron. Laura Ann Houston. Hélène Hudon, magna cum laude. Marie-Lise Sylvie Joron, cum laude. Brianna Michelle Jennings, magna cum laude. Courtney Jordan, cum laude. Leanne Kane, summa cum laude. Leanne est récipiendaire de la médaille d'or de l'Université décernée pour la plus haute moyenne obtenue dans les programmes de baccalauréat spécialisés de la Faculté des sciences sociales. Toutes mes félicitations, Leanne. Shainur Kara, magna cum laude. Caitlin Ren Diana Karampatos, cum laude. Samantha Kenny, magna cum laude. David Quizera, cum laude. David reçoit aussi un deuxième diplôme, apparemment. Alexandre Lacombe, cum laude. Alexandre Lafrenière, summa cum laude. Alors, Alexandre reçoit la médaille d'argent de l'université, décernée pour la deuxième plus haute moyenne obtenue au programme de baccalauréat. Toutes mes félicitations, Alexandre.
Merci beaucoup.
Olivia May-Lamar. Mélissa Latour. Brianna Anne Lavoie. Jessica Lee, magna cum laude. Chelsea Lico, cum laude. Jenna Rachel Lim, cum laude. Marisa Lukacek, cum laude. Valérie Makarevitz, no, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Martinelli, summa cum laude. Graeme McConnell, magna cum laude. Amanda Miku. Maria Melia Muboyayi. Ashley Janet Nixon, cum laude. Nicole Oates, magna cum laude. Kelly Taylor O'Brien, cum laude. Jessica O'Dwyer, cum laude. Kathleen Osheski. Sophie Paraskis Lebrun. Tina Jeanette Pelcha. Mélanie Diane Prou, cum laude. Olivia Provo Walker, summa cum laude. Elisa Prudhomme, cum laude. Stéphanie Raposo, magna cum laude. Madeleine Ressel, summa cum laude. Emma Roberts, magna cum laude. Rita Rodriguez. Gart Roussel. Nicole Anna Rutkowski, magna cum laude. Alexandra Saint-Pierre, cum laude. Caitlin Stoll, cum laude. Brittany Stephens. Laura Beth Margaret Stephens, magna cum laude. Erika Patricia Jean Tilson, cum laude. Alexandra Turgeon, magna cum laude. Roxandra Onguranu, cum laude. Vanessa Uwano Oro. Jade Varin, summa cum laude. Laura Velez, cum laude. Émilie Christine Vendette. Ashley Christina Wheel, magna cum laude. Victoria Mary White, cum laude. Natalie Williams, magna cum laude. Jenna Wilson, magna cum laude. Vanessa Gabrielle Wilton, cum laude. Lydia Yilma, cum laude. Nedou Ziayi. Christine Zigaye. Noad Abu Ahmad. Oluwabukola Oluwatobiloba Akindori, cum laude. Lauren Alice Arbor, magna cum laude. Shannon Lee Bedford, cum laude. Riley Boyes. Ashley Bryan. Jeremy James McVoy Bridger. Felicia Joanna Brodus, cum laude. Diana Castillo, magna cum laude. Roxanne Carters. Aliyah Kajila Chamberlain, cum laude. Evelyn Chan, cum laude. Georgina Chapman, magna cum laude. Alisa Sheikh. Isabelle Cossette, magna cum laude. Adriana Côté. Danielle Nicole D'Amico, magna cum laude. Anastasia Deriabina, cum laude. Madeleine Erazo, cum laude. Laura Feltum. Camille Ferland. Chelsea Louise Fitzpatrick, cum laude. Mara Abash, cum laude. Vanessa Harris, cum laude. Bedam Hassan. Laura Van den Goom. Alana Yanal Zello, cum laude. Ira Khan, cum laude. Evelyn Ku, magna cum laude. Jennifer Cram-Roder, cum laude. Sofia Lavrinchek, summa cum laude. Rachel Malley. Stéphanie Monette, cum laude. Chelsea Moran, summa cum laude. Claire Patricia Nelson, cum laude. Emmanuel Ramirez Navarro, summa cum laude. Alexandre Rochon, summa cum laude. Camille Chimay Rousseau, cum laude. Alina Chocat, cum laude. Hamda Soubaglé, cum laude. Chloé Tabet, magna cum laude. Darty Majin Thomas. Jonathan Tran, summa cum laude. Jonathan is the recipient of the University Silver Medal, awarded for the second highest standing in an honors bachelor programs in the Faculty of Social Sciences. Congratulations, Tran. Joël Veilleux Deschaines, magna cum laude. Myriane Venassé, cum laude. Chalice Walker, magna cum laude. Owen Wiseman, cum laude. Emily Osman. Menslin Avril. Adam Bachin. Karabarski. Ashley Taylor Box, cum laude. Natalie Rose Bell, summa cum laude. Ariane Bellil, magna cum laude. Brianna Lee Bertram. Eric Bilodeau, summa cum laude. Émilie Marie Lila Boucher. Pascal Véronique May Boucher. Morgan René Daniel Brio. Jordan Butler, cum laude. Cassandra Calamusa. Lisa Calcafueco. Sabrina Carrier. Annick Casabon, cum laude. Maria Sukman Chong, cum laude. Erika Clark. Melanie Cordero. Lauren Emily Cotnam. Margaret Cropland. Stéphanie Crête, cum laude. Nathalie de Boucherville-Taillon, cum laude. Elisha Anna Della Ria, magna cum laude. Julie Delorme. Soroya Dempsey, cum laude. Mercedes Denodem, cum laude. Karine Dequillet, magna cum laude. Darby Hannah Easy. Tina Emery. Elizabeth Feder. Sarah Farrat. Julian Farley, summa cum laude. Melissa Foisy. Melanie Fraser. Justine Gélina. Hani Abal. Carrie Arison. Caitlin Enigar. Jamie Victoria Hill. Michael Lawrence Itch, magna cum laude. David Hubert. Alexa Généré. Maria Kahn. Alexander Nicholas Kim. Sofia Kostolios. Alexander Ian Kruzowski.
Nice try, it's okay.
Chloé Maryse Lagacé. Myriane Lambert, magna cum laude. Sarah Lamont, cum laude. Sarah-Émilie Lange. Roxane Leblanc. Laurence Leduc-Thériault. Catherine Lévesque, cum laude. Sébastien Mireille Lusuco. Stéphanie Loomis. Gwyneth Tracy Mack. Caitlin Emily Mason, cum laude. Sarah Marie Mazar Gatti. Jenny Mamoulou. Lande McLellan, cum laude. Lindsay Maggie Mukala. Alison McGaugh. Anne Aura McKay, magna cum laude. Maïa Mercure. Olanduni Ulutunda. Sabrina O'Reilly. Oksana Pavlenko. Jessica Megan Lynn Pinley. Larissa Povidechko, magna cum laude. Lauren Alexandra Rados. Michael Rayleigh Peter Rego. Victor Isaac Ramirez. Caroline Rivard Cook. Punit Kaur Romana. Jessica Roy, cum laude. Cassandra Russo, magna cum laude. Diana Sarik. Oda Shabi. Andy Marlowe Shields. Kayla Maria Leonardo Souza. Amanda Elizabeth Stockbridge, cum laude. Bronwyn Marie McGree Swersfager, magna cum laude. Dominique Thierria, magna cum laude. Dimitri Thérien. Taylor Thibault King. Stephanie Ann DeWard Tyrrell. Zachary Trier. Émilie Vaillancourt, cum laude. Alison Walsh. Ornella Ntuba Wachishekedi. Anana Wazorik. Angela Williamson. Ross Winchester. Zhe Wei Ye. Josephine Younes. Robin Young. Rachel Zecca. This is very well. One more time, just a second. Vous avez eu la chance d'avoir monté sur scène tous les diplômés de la Faculté des sciences sociales. Now, let's give them a round of applause.
Je crois que le doyen mérite aussi une bonne main d'applaudissements. Avant de clore la cérémonie, j'aimerais souligner, puis prendre l'occasion de souligner le fait que notre recteur, M. Alan Rock, recteur et vice-chancelier de l'Université d'Ottawa, comme vous l'avez entendu, termine son mandat à la fin juin 2016. Et je pense que c'est important de prendre l'occasion de souligner son leadership exceptionnel au cours des 8 dernières années. I'd like to join my colleagues to thank Mr. Alan Rock, President and Vice Chancellor, who will be ending his mandate at the end of June this year for his exceptional leadership over the last 8 years. Mr. Rock, thank you very much. La cérémonie de la collation des grades étant maintenant terminée, il m'appartient de déclarer cette séance close. The business for which convocation was called having been discharged, it is now my duty to declare the ceremony closed. Vous êtes priés de demeurer à vos places jusqu'à ce que le cortège universitaire ait quitté la salle. You are kindly requested to remain at your seats until the academic procession has left the hall. Joyeuse célébration, bonne célébration!